Hey, welcome back to the Successful Lead Generating Coaches Show. My name is Arfan, co-founder, co-owner of Grow, Automate, Scale, where we help coaches leverage the power of Facebook advertising to reach new leads, new customers, and do it all while buying back your time. So today is going to be part 2 of how to do your beta course launch, your beta launch with Facebook ads. And in part 1, I discovered the importance of really doing beta launches, and also when you're including Facebook, why we're really going to go about doing this. I talked about setting goals. I gave you some of the key components you want to have for a successful launch. And I told you I was going to come into part 2, so here it is. So part 2, creating compelling Facebook ads for your beta course, right? And it's really just going to be talking a lot about the process itself for crafting effective ads, for creating effective ads, right? So I'm going to go through ad copy, I'm going to go through visuals, talk a little bit about the call to action, and just kind of chat a little bit about what it takes to actually create good ads that convert, ads that stop the scroll, ads that give you good click rates, ads that convert well. And when I say convert, I mean it you get someone to stop their scroll, they click on it, they go to your landing page, they sign up, right? It's a holistic thing. It's not just the ad. The ad doesn't make someone convert. Essentially, it attracts a person. The landing page does the conversions. But the more we can track, the more we convert, right? So let's dive into this here a little bit. And let's start off first with talking about the very first thing, essentially, is that your lead will see. And that will be your visuals. Now, Facebook has quite a bit of placements, and I use Facebook. I don't really mean Facebook itself. I'm talking about meta ads, which goes over Facebook, Instagram, and to be more specific, we're talking about ads that will go to Reels, ads that will go into Stories, ads that will go into video placements. All really just, if you check off every single places where you would consume content on these platforms, Facebook and Instagram, that's essentially where your ad will go as well. So really, we want to make sure we can get as much placements as possible, because we're going to capture the broadest audience. You have friends, I guarantee you have friends that send you a bunch of videos, right? That's what they do. They send you videos. That's almost your entire friendship. I say that jokingly. But if you look at the amount of videos you guys send each other over the course of a month, it may be in the dozens or the hundreds, right? So the thing is, though, you're video consumers, right? They're video consumers. They may be those who share with you a regular post here and there. They're also more likely to click on the newsfeed and things like that. So to kind of give you an idea that your audience will be on all over Facebook and Instagram. So it's your job to now meet them where they are. Okay, so let's talk about the visual. Let's go over graphics first. And I like graphics to be square. 1080 by 1080, so 1080 pixels by 1080 pixels. If you're on Canva and you type in Facebook ad, it's going to give you that landscape view. I don't like that. It limits your placements. It doesn't really convert as well as it did back in the past when that was our main option. Now, if you go on Canva and you actually type in Instagram post, is going to give you the 1080 by 1080, and that's just a shortcut to save you time, save you energy, save you effort. But square graphics will give you the best look and ideally the most placements without having to do too much extra. Okay, so that's first and foremost. The next thing is your graphics need to really also be aesthetically pleasing to the actual platform. So what I mean by this is typically graphics with like a dark graphic, meaning there's a dark background, dark text, dark everything, don't typically perform as well as those that are lighter in color. So if you look at the ultimate contrast, white background, black text, that's going to stand out the most. From there, you can play with that however you like, right? But just kind of give you the most extreme visual possible. White background, dark text, right? So similarly too as well, light background, somewhat darker subject, but not really darker subject. The subject should, like if you're in a good photo of yourself, but think of it like going with a white background, wearing white clothes, I might throw it off a little bit. but if there's other visual components in there, it can definitely play a role, right? So let's start off there first with text over the graphic. So your text should be on either the left or the left, the right, or above. Typically, when you have text on the lower bottom, will be typically your call to action text. But any text that you really want to convey a message, or the title of let's say you're doing a conversion event of a webinar, and you have a title of a how-to, or 3 simple ways, right? So 3 simple ways you can improve your life or 3 simple ways to lower your cholesterol without drastically changing your eating habits. Which, if you think about it, it's kind of like a catch-22. Anyways, I digress from that. For anyone that's a health coach, you probably are like, oh gosh, let's not talk about that topic. But so really, you want to have the main text, the thing that's going to capture your audience attention, on the left, the right, or above. And also avoid like crossing over. Like, you don't want text going over your head or anything like that. It could be simple things, but you'd be surprised what I've seen in the past. And also, if you're going to do graphics without text, kind of think of that rule. Really, it's really going to be, make sure if you're in the picture, you're very clear. Eye contact is being made. Or if you're looking off, that's totally fine. But there are still elements where people can clearly see your face, because that's going to help to build up a little brand recognition and brand awareness. So when they come to a live event or live training, like, you're not a total stranger to them, although you are. It's just that they've seen you numerous times before. Okay, so that's one of the elements of visual ads. Okay, a shortcut here that you can really do is to go to the facebook.com/ad library, and here you can actually see a bunch of different ads. Type in your favorite companies, see what ads they're running, kind of get an idea what style you like, and you can create a similar thing. We're not copying, we're just using it for inspiration, right? So that's the importance of the visuals. Now, when it comes to video, you typically will want to have maybe recording in 2 different ways. One, recording it in of a landscape, so that way you can get a nice square crop. The second thing is recording it in a portrait, right? So you can do one or the other. You can really record further back, so you can edit it. But when you record in portrait, that's going to give you a lot of the story placements. So Facebook stories, Instagram stories, you'll be able to get your ads shown there really nicely, and also for Instagram Reel. So here's the little tip I give you for videos. Ideally, if you could, add subtitles. As a matter of fact, I think it's a must. Add subtitles. And add the subtitles above your head. Okay, don't do it below. Don't do it to the lower third of the ad or the video. And the reason why is because that's where text is going to be shown. You're going to have the learn more button. You're going to have your business name. You're going to have the first line of your ad copy. So if you put the captions below, let's say below your torso area in the bottom of the video, when it's in this portrait mode, what ends up happening, you cut the caption off. But if you have it above your head, what ends up happening now is that you're, number one, through some case studies that shows to be the most ideal place where people will read the subtitles. I think it can look odd sometimes, but it's very captivating. And they'll essentially watch more of your video. You may not get 100% watch rate, but you'll get more of your video being watched when it's above the head. So ideally, that's the best place to go. You can mess with it, make it look good. At the end of the day, I will say this about videos. It doesn't matter what tricks you do. You can try all the tricks in the world, but if your messaging is not like on point, meaning that it's not resonating with the audience, they won't watch it, no matter what fancy tricks you do. So make sure your messaging is really well thought out, and what you're offering is really meant for your audience. The other thing is, in terms of length of videos, and this is something I mentioned. I'm dropping a book where I go through the entire blueprint of a 6-figure launch that you can do. And the tip I give you is keep your video between 15 to 30 seconds. The quicker and shorter, you can just kind of give them give a really sweet spot, like hey target audience. If you're feeling da-da-da-da and you're looking to da-da-da-da, sign up for my free da-da-da-da where I'll help you da-da-da-da very, very quickly. And I just shoot that out there, but really the way we do this is we help our clients to custom create a little script that can be between 15 to 30 seconds. Sometimes we get it down to super short, like 11 or 12, depending on how fast you talk or how slow you may want to talk. Everyone's different, and it's totally cool, but that's why we have these ranges, so there's no judgment, of course. And but that's just talking about the visuals. And the real, I believe that 80% of your ad is really the visual, because that's what most people are on the platform for. It's a visual platform. The second part of it is going to be your ad copy. So effective ad copy is going to be a few things. Okay, so you're going to have your actual text, your primary text. This is like when you're writing a Facebook post. This is what you're writing out. That's what's going to be shown. The second thing is going to be your headline. You're going to have a headline below your ad, and typically 5 to 7 words is a really great place to look for the headline. And those are really the key components of the ads as far as what's going to be shown. So let's talk about the text for a second. Your primary text, the most crucial part of this, is the first sentence. It should be around 125 characters, no more. And the reason why is because once you go too further, it puts it into the ... see more. It cuts it into ellipses. So what ends up happening is you may not get your full thought around. And if you look at the ad, you want to say, hey, I want to have my ad be the highest and purest and the best conversion possible. You want to have a great visual, of course, number one. Number two, one line that's going to really be a statement or a question or something that's going to get your ideal client to stop their scroll and be like, hey, you're talking to me. And then number three is you're going to have a headline that helps to really lock it in, right? So again, if what do you read? What do you pick up? What articles do you think? Typically, they have a good headline that really, really captures you. So think of a good headline. And I like to be direct in some of the ads that we run. I find it best because I'm going for quality leads. I'm not trying to trick anybody. So I'll just, sometimes we're like free training, right? How to da-da-da-da. Right? And very simple. We find those convert really well because, again, we're not trying to play games with our audience. We're being very straightforward. Like, this is a free training. This is what it's going to be about. The next thing for the ad copy, and the thing is, inside my book, I break this down. I break down the entire 5-step process for writing great effective ad copy. But one of the caveats I want to talk about here is to really focus on a strong call to action. Okay, so when you go to the call to action of the copy, so you have number one, where it's just giving a strong statement or question to really capture their attention. You're going to move into now giving, really relating to them, let them know who you are, telling them your story, and give them like what they're going to get. Tell them what they're going to get. Why are they signing up for this training? What's going to be part of it? And you're going to give them a call to action, right? The call to action, we have to be very specific. I see a lot of ad copies that people write when they're doing it on their own, and it excludes a call to action. A call to action is simply as you're going to tell them what you want them to do next. I want you to sign up, right? So click the link below and sign up for my free training. Simple as that. The better you can strengthen your call to action is going to be really great, right? To give them the reason why, right? So stop struggling with your health and click the link below. So you can get the top 3 tips for lowering your cholesterol. It's an example, but strengthen your call to action so that they can see it that, hey, I need to do this now. I need to register now and not wait. So I do cover a lot more of the advanced copywriting techniques in the book where we go into and share some examples, things like that. But that's the gist of it. When it comes to creating compelling Facebook ads, it really comes around to those things, right? You want to have great visuals, whether it's graphics or videos, and then you also want to craft some really effective ad copy. In terms of like how much do you need? So how much graphics do you need? How many videos do you need? That's really also part of a budgeting question. How much are you looking to spend? The higher the budget, the more graphics and copy you'll need. The lower the budget, the less you'll need. So just going into approaching it anyway at all, I do recommend having about 3 graphics that you're going to run to test and at least 2 videos that you're going to run to test. And you may running a combination of 2 graphics and 1 video, or just test the video separately, test the graphics separately, however you'd like to do it. But it really comes down to a budget question. If you have a very low budget, you're spending $5 a day, really 1 graphic, 1 video can be pretty enough to start testing for a few days. It's really difficult to get a lot of results off of a low budget like that, I do recommend going into a testing phase about $20 a day for 3 days to find out which of your image or graphics are working the best. And I go into a lot more details on that in the book. So stay tuned. I will be mentioning when we can get access to 2 to 6 figure Facebook ad launch blueprint for coaches. So with all that being said, here's what's going to happen, right? This was part 2. This is a 3-part series of how to do your beta course launch with Facebook ads. And in the next part, we're going to be talking about optimizing and scaling your beta launch ads. Okay, so by now, if you're following along, and let's say you were taking perfect action, right? Obviously, perfect action is one of those things where it doesn't exist. Action is action. You got to take action. So you would have already had a beta course outlined, maybe potentially have everything fleshed out, ready to start recording. You will have had a sales page, a thank you page for that sales page, and a way to collect a client to purchase. You would have a webinar landing page if you're doing a webinar or a challenge, whatever the launch conversion, whatever the conversion event would be. You would have that registration page. You will have the form locked, ready to go to trigger an email sequence once someone signs up. You will have had a thank you page with a video. And I know I didn't talk about the video. That's just a little bit separate from this right now. I'm just, you do need to have a video on that thank you page. It's super important. And I'll talk about it real quick why. The reason why is because you have to, when you're collecting a cold lead, you have to build rapport with them as quickly as you possibly can, so that way when it comes to making the offer, there is enough trust there for them to take their wallet out. When someone sees your ad and sign up, that's the most excited and in love with you they'll ever be. At that point, what's going to happen is you're going to nurture, you're going to convert, and you're going to be like, okay, they may, you're going to get less open rates, things like that. But when you get them at the peak of excitement, you really lock in a bigger bond. So video is a great way to do that. So I digress on the video topic now. So we would have all these things in place. Now with this part 2, you're looking at already having graphics, potentially videos, and copy ready to go, right? So the next thing is really how do you get the ads set up and how do you analyze your ad performance, and I will be chatting about that. So optimizing and scaling your beta launch ads, and scaling it is scale. Everyone scales. If you have a low budget, you still got to test and scale. You got a super high budget, you got to test and scale. Everyone's gonna have to optimize, optimize, and scale their ads. So I'm excited to talk about that. Stay tuned for that next one for part 3. With that being said, you all have a great one. I will catch you all on the next episode. Bye bye.